to welcome you to the Healthy Life Care channel, which primarily focuses on the health of those aged 60 and above. We want to alert you to potentially beneficial information we possess. Senior, stop these popular fruits. If you don't want the worst impact on your health, have you ever pondered why your legs exhibit less strength as time progresses, despite your efforts to maintain a nutritious diet and an active lifestyle? You are not solitary. Numerous elderly individuals have the belief that all fruits are beneficial for health. Ultimately, they are organic, correct? However, a seldom discussed reality is that not all fruits are beneficial for seniors, especially those over 60. Certain fruits may insidiously undermine your leg strength, leading to discomfort, inflammation, and even mobility issues. The nutrients we consume immediately influence the health of our muscles, joints, nerves, and blood circulation, particularly in the legs. For seniors, inappropriate food choices may significantly impact their mobility and overall quality of life, leading to discomfort, frailty, and reliance. It is essential to identify the 7 most detrimental fruits that seniors should evade and comprehend the specific ways in which they might adversely affect leg health. Prior to commencing, if you have not yet subscribed, I recommend activating that button and enabling notifications to ensure you do not overlook any health tips tailored for you. If you like this video, please enter 1 in the comments. If not, please input 0 to indicate how I may enhance the information for you. 1. Pineapple, the subtle catalyst of inflammation. Many elderly people see pineapple as a therapeutic fruit, often lauded for its enzyme bromelain, said to assist with digestion and inflammation. However, what many individuals over 60 are unaware of is that this tropical fruit might insidiously transform into a significant adversary for their legs, particularly with regular consumption. Its allure conceals the reality. With advancing age, our systems exhibit increased sensitivity to natural sugars and acidic substances, both of which are present in significant amounts in pineapple. The influx of these carbohydrates into your system induces blood sugar spikes, which over time impair the minute blood arteries that provide nourishment to your legs. Essential vessels that maintain the strength of your calf muscles, the flexibility of your knees, and the stability of your feet. This pertains not just to energy, but also to inflammation and the manner in which sugar and acid provoke turmoil inside an aging body. What begins as mild soreness in the thighs or a dull ache in the knees may seem benign, but for several seniors, habitual consumption of pineapple may gradually induce a chronic inflammatory condition, particularly in those already suffering from arthritis, joint stiffness, or inadequate circulation. You may have increased swelling in the ankles. Maintaining an upright position may seem more challenging. Your legs may experience weariness more rapidly. That is not only aging, it constitutes a response which is far more alarming. Bromelain in pineapple may interact with drugs often prescribed to seniors, such as anticoagulants, exacerbating inflammation and perhaps leading to increased bruising or limb weakness. The first impacts may be insidious, therefore their inherent risk. You believe you are making a health-conscious decision. However, you are inadvertently exacerbating inflammation inside your joints. When you next choose a luscious piece of pineapple, consider, is this fruit genuinely benefiting my body, or is it hindering my progress? Pineapple is only the start. Did you know that one of the most favored muscle-friendly fruits might actually be depleting your energy over time? Let us discuss bananas. If you are still viewing and find these insights beneficial, kindly remark 1 below to indicate your support. 2. Bananas. The muscular imposter people have praised bananas for decades as the perfect fruit for supporting muscles, especially due to their high potassium content. Numerous seniors see them as a daily essential, a soft, easily digestible snack that appears ideal for aging bodies. What if I informed you that this well-known yellow fruit might be compromising the strength you need to preserve? With advancing age, the body's capacity to metabolize sugar and starch diminishes. Bananas, particularly those that are ripe, contain elevated levels of natural sugars and quickly metabolize carbohydrates, which swiftly convert to glucose. Upon the introduction of sugar into your system, it enhances energy levels and induces insulin surges, which over time lead to insulin resistance, adiposity in the lower body, and, most critically, compromised circulation in the lower extremities. This results in less oxygen and nutrition delivery to your leg muscles, leading to accelerated fatigue, prolonged recovery, and progressive weakness over time. You may observe a sensation of heaviness in your legs post-meals, tightness in your calves, or an unusual discomfort while ascending stairs. It starts mildly and becomes more intense, especially if you include bananas in your daily diet. In contrast to youthful physiques, your senior body does not recover swiftly. As one ages, even seemingly healthy options such as bananas may become insidious adversaries. It is particularly concerning that bananas may exacerbate water retention in some elderly individuals, particularly those with cardiovascular ailments. The fluid accumulates in the ankles and feet, resulting in edema that induces discomfort during movement and complicates balance. You are not only fatigued, you are burdened. We have all been informed that bananas provide energy. Nonetheless, it may be prudent to inquire, is this energy genuine or only a fleeting surge before decline? If bananas, traditionally seen as a benign fruit, are subtly detrimental to your legs, consider the potential impact of little grapes on your joints and feet. Let us examine this more closely. 3. Grapes. Small fruit, significant inflammatory effect. Upon first observation, grapes seem benign, even soothing. They are mild, come in small portions, and are often linked to cardiovascular health and increased lifespan. Numerous seniors store them on the countertop or in the refrigerator, believing they are opting for a light, healthful alternative. However, underneath that delicate exterior lies a subtle peril, one that may gradually undermine your leg strength, movement, and everyday comfort without any audible indication. The danger is in fructose, the natural sugar that imparts grapes with their enticing sweetness. In contrast to glucose, which serves as an energy source for the body, fructose is metabolized in the liver, where it is more prone to conversion into fat and uric acid. For elderly individuals, such a situation may rapidly escalate into an issue, particularly if one is already contending with joint discomfort, stiffness, or weariness in the lower extremities. When uric acid accumulates, it deposits in the joints, and even minor stimuli can trigger an attack. Gout, a very painful affliction affecting the legs and feet of the elderly, often starts with an innocuous indulgence, a modest serving of grapes. However, the outcome may be catastrophic. Edema, burning sensations, and acute pain in the toes, ankles, or knees, often occurring at night during repose. High fructose fruits, such as grapes, exacerbate inflammation even in the absence of gout. For an aging body already under duress, such inflammation worsens the condition, similar to adding fuel to a fire. Our tendency to overconsume grapes adds to their misleading nature. A little quantity suffices, merely a handful here, a few while watching television, some over breakfast, and the sugar accumulates rapidly. The results may not be immediately apparent. Nevertheless, over time, your legs begin to reveal the narrative. Rigid joints, tense calves, diminished mobility, and an escalating discomfort that remains invisible to others, yet is acutely felt each time you attempt to stand from a chair. If something as little and delightful as grapes can exert such a significant influence, what can be said about fruits that seem refreshing but conceal much greater amounts of sugar? The reality about watermelon may surprise you. 4. Watermelon, the sweet illusion. Are you nostalgic about watermelon? It evokes memories of summer picnics, youthful exuberance, and the uncomplicated pleasure of a chilled, succulent slice on a sunny day. For several elders, it seems to be the ideal fruit, hydrating, invigorating, and gentle on the teeth. However, underneath that sweetness is a cruel reality. Watermelon may be subtly undermining your leg strength. Moreover, you may remain oblivious to it. The issue lies not just with the sugar itself, but with the rapid influx of sugar into your system. Watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indices among fruits, resulting in a quick increase in blood sugar levels. For seniors, particularly those with prediabetes, diabetes, or impaired circulation, That jump is not only a statistic, it is a warning sign. Rapid elevations in blood sugar levels precipitate inflammation, adversely affecting the lower extremities, which are inherently more susceptible due to aging. You may observe that your legs feel unusually fatigued post-meal, or that a moderate stroll results in discomfort in your calves. This phenomenon is not only attributable to age. Often it is the glucose surging through your bloodstream that induces oxidative stress and exerts pressure on the fragile neurons and blood vessels essential for leg mobility. Moreover, the body reacts to excessive sugar intake by retaining moisture. Where does that fluid originate? The fluid originates in the soft tissues, your ankles, knees, and feet, regions where movement begins to induce pain, and steps appear steeper than before. Watermelon deceives us with its mild flavor, although it functions like candy inside the body. For those over 60 whose metabolic systems metabolize sugar at a reduced pace and exhibit diminished recovery efficiency, consuming too much watermelon may contribute to a decline in mobility. A single slice here, several cubes there, and eventually your legs indicate that something is amiss. However, if watermelon, a fruit mostly composed of water, can induce such complications, what implications arise from fruits that are rich in acid and purport to enhance immune function? The following item on the list may astonish you. 5. Oranges. The acidic impact on joints. Oranges have historically been regarded as a health emblem, rich in vitamin C associated with cold prevention and often advised as a component of a balanced diet. Numerous elderly start their day with a glass of orange juice, certain they are benefiting their health. Although this practice may provide a sense of ease, the reality is somewhat more complex and perilous for aged legs and joints than many individuals comprehend. Oranges, characterized by their vibrant hue and zesty flavor, contain a significant amount of citric acid, which in excessive quantities may exacerbate inflammation in the body, especially inside the joints. For elderly individuals suffering from arthritis, bursitis, or general joint sensitivity, this acid might exacerbate the deterioration of already vulnerable cartilage. What is the outcome? You may experience a gradual stiffness in your knees upon awakening, persistent soreness in your hips throughout the day, and a recurring sensation of your legs stiffening after prolonged sitting. It is nuanced until it becomes overt. However, acid is not the only issue. Oranges, particularly orange juice, have elevated levels of natural sugars that, when ingested regularly, might disturb the body's insulin equilibrium. These imbalances may result in systemic inflammation, which affects not just joints but also muscles, blood vessels, and connective tissues, particularly in the lower body. As individuals age, they may have joint discomfort, reduced range of motion, edema around the knees or ankles, and heightened instability when ambulating or standing. One may readily presume that a fruit so fresh and recognizable could not be detrimental. However, the body in one's 60s, 70s, and beyond does not recuperate as it once did. The same orange that once invigorated you may now be hindering your energy. If this ubiquitous morning fruit is insidiously deteriorating your joints, consider the potential impact of a seemingly healthy green apple, particularly one that may be more detrimental than anticipated. 6. Green apples. An overlooked cause of leg pain. Green apples symbolize purity and health. Their firm texture and tangy flavor often appeal to those seeking a more wholesome fruit, one that is less saccharine and more invigorating. For several elders, consuming a green apple daily seems to be a prudent and sensible decision. However, few comprehend that underneath that vibrant exterior exists a detrimental amalgamation of acidity and sugar, which may subtly compromise the strength and comfort of your legs. The high malic acid level in green apples poses a challenge, since this natural substance may be difficult for aging digestive systems to metabolize. Although malic acid is sometimes lauded for its energy-boosting properties, excessive or regular use may provoke inflammation, particularly in those with pre-existing conditions such as arthritis or fibromyalgia. The inflammation extends beyond the stomach, perhaps affecting the hips, thighs, knees, or feet, resulting in sensations of aching, burning, or stiffness that seem to originate from the muscles themselves. However, it is not only the acid. Green apples also contain natural sugars. For elderly individuals with diminished metabolism and impaired insulin sensitivity, even a little sugar intake might result in fluctuations in blood glucose levels. These changes disrupt circulation and, over time, diminish oxygen supply to the legs. The result is calf tiredness, a sensation of weakness when ascending stairs, or intense discomfort after brief walks. Due to the frequent use of green apples in their raw state, particularly on an empty stomach or as a snack, the effects may be significantly heightened. Although you may not associate your daily apple with your nocturnal leg cramps or morning stiffness, it is essential to heed the subtle cues your body conveys. Pain is not arbitrary. It often arises as a reaction to stimuli we saw as secure. If a seemingly innocuous green apple may cause significant agony, consider the tropical fruit lauded for its sweetness that is insidiously inundating your joints with sugar. 7. Mango, the sugary culprit in your joints. The enjoyment of a ripe mango is indisputable. Its golden pulp, pleasant aroma, and velvety consistency often evoke recollections of warmer days and family reunions. For some elders, mango represents a tropical respite, a guilt-free indulgence. However, underneath that velvety sweetness is one of the most concentrated sources of natural sugar in the realm of fruit. For aging bodies, particularly the legs and joints, such sweetness incurs a significant cost. A single mango may contain almost 45 grams of sugar, exceeding that of a typical can of soda. This concentration of sugar induces a quick increase in your blood glucose levels. Although your younger self may have managed it effortlessly, the aging body does not react similarly. As one ages, insulin efficacy diminishes, resulting in prolonged glucose presence in the circulation, which contributes to considerable inflammation, particularly in soft tissues such as the knees, ankles, and hip joints. Subsequent to this, there is a gradual weightiness in the legs, painful edema around the feet, and a decline in muscular endurance that may result in breathlessness after little distances. Mango sugar may exacerbate irritation of nerve endings, especially in those with diabetes or early neuropathy. The nocturnal burning feeling in your feet and the tingling in your toes may not just be attributable to aging. It might be related to the nutritious fruit consumed post-dinner. The light and refreshing nature of mango might lead to inadvertent overeating. However, your body retains a record of trauma, and your legs, the essential appendages that maintain your autonomy, are the first ones to endure distress. Before indulging in that next mango smoothie or tropical fruit bowl, consider if the sweetness justifies the gradual harm it inflicts. Although these 7 fruits may be unexpected, the true danger is in their cumulative effects over time, often occurring without any prior indication. What alternatives should seniors consider for their diet? Upon realizing that the fruits we depended upon may have been covertly detrimental, it is instinctive to experience frustration, even a sense of betrayal. Knowledge constitutes power, and with it arises the capacity to transform, to make more judicious choices, and to provide our bodies with their genuine needs throughout this significant phase of life. Aging is not synonymous with resignation. Rather, it entails acquiring the skills to enhance one's existence, with intention, lucidity, and compassion. For seniors, particularly those experiencing the discomfort of aging in their legs, the answer is not to eliminate fruit entirely. It involves selecting fruits that promote healing rather than causing harm. Those that provide nourishment without burdening your system, enhance circulation, alleviate inflammation, and empower you to stand, walk, and move freely. Commence with berries, nature's genuine anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries are abundant in antioxidants, low in sugar, and have little impact on blood glucose levels. They operate discreetly, safeguarding your cells, alleviating inflammatory joints, and enhancing circulation, particularly to the lower extremities. Cherries, when consumed in moderation, provide comparable alleviation, especially for those with gout or arthritis. Their ingredients assist in decreasing uric acid levels and mitigating flare-ups that might unexpectedly impair your mobility. Additionally, avocados possess a subtle strength, creamy, gratifying, and rich in beneficial fats that protect your joints and diminish internal inflammation. In contrast to sugary fruits, avocados assist with insulin regulation, maintaining constant energy levels throughout the day. They do not undermine you, they bolster you. Papaya is also a mild ally. Its enzymes facilitate digestion, its vitamins mitigate inflammation, and its texture is kind to the aging digestive system. For individuals fatigued by abrasive fruits and tart flavors, papaya provides tranquility, solace, and vitality. Pears, when consumed in moderation and accompanied by protein or fiber, may provide a little sweetness without causing a crash, so benefiting rather than burdening the body. At this juncture in life, your nutrition should complement you, not hinder you. Each morsel represents a decision for strength or its absence, for clearer mornings and more effortless movements, and for the tranquility derived from the assurance that your body's being nurtured rather than just sustained. The process begins with the selection of fruits you choose to retain and those you finally choose to discard. Concluding reflections from one senior to another. As an individual who has traversed several experiences, navigating complexities, undergoing healing, and enduring periods of resilience and suffering, I want to address you not as a writer, but as a fellow sojourner. The process of aging is challenging. No one equips us for the silent struggles, the rigidity that infiltrates your knees, the fatigued legs that throb after little exertion, the apprehension that one day you may be unable to walk as you once did. However, one lesson aging has imparted is this: we are never too old to make alternative, more favorable choices. We widely recognize the health benefits of fruit. Physicians and neighbors often urged us to consume fruit, emphasizing its health-promoting properties. This was mostly accurate throughout our youth, when our bodies were more agile, robust, and resilient. However, today in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s, our bodies communicate more subtly, necessitating our attentive listening. The 7 fruits we examine today do not have the same detrimental effects as junk food. However, for individuals with aged legs, sensitive joints, and diminished physiological systems, these factors may insidiously deprive us of what is most essential: our strength, balance, and capacity to ambulate without discomfort. For elders, walking symbolizes independence, dignity, and freedom. There is no need to completely transform your diet immediately. Nevertheless, you may gradually eliminate what is no longer beneficial, substituting inflammatory sugars with healing nutrients and selecting fruits that provide sustained energy without causing crashes. Pay attention to your postprandial sensations, not just the immediate pleasure of taste, but also the feedback from your legs, back, and energy levels 1 hour thereafter. This emphasis embodies knowledge, which at our age becomes one of our most valuable assets. If you are reading this and experiencing a sense of overload, pause and inhale deeply. You have not failed, you have not erred. This journey is not about culpability. It is about achieving insight and taking incremental, impactful measures toward a more resilient and stable self. Your adventure does not conclude with the passage of time. This marks the beginning of the most deliberate and significant chapter. As a fellow senior, I implore you to save your legs, health, and future by being conscious of your dietary choices. You merit the ability to move proficiently. You deserve mornings devoid of discomfort. You deserve the enjoyment of the next years, walking, standing upright, and doing so with elegance. It is not just about extending lifespan, it is about enhancing vitality. This decision starts today, with each individual bite. These lectures aim to motivate you to live completely and truly. I would appreciate your feedback. Reflect briefly and articulate one lesson you have acquired that you want to implement in your life. Let us assist one another in our endeavor to accept these facts. If you like this video, kindly remark with 1. If not, you may comment with 0. We greatly appreciate your feedback. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for seeing, and may you embrace life according to your own principles.